Hi guys, Tempest here. This time I will be checking my match against Kyle Yu-Gi-Oh 94 and his Infernity deck. This was Format Library's Duelist Crown Tournament 13 top 4 match. The tournament took place back in October of 2024 and had 30 registered players with a top 8 top cut. I finished second in Swiss and was once again playing the exact same 40 card Geargia Hand. Let's get to the game. I won rock, paper, scissors and opted to start. Since I knew I was playing against Infernity, I wanted to make an aggressive first turn board. In the process, I thinned the deck as much as reasonably possible, then used Upstart Goblin. So there is a possibility we could draw second Geargia Accelerator with Upstart Goblin before, but so we could make 2 Gigants, but even one should be good enough. And with Geargia Hand, we add Geargia Accelerator from deck and not from the graveyard because we want to top deck back row in the early turns against Infernity, having now established our engine already. And now we hope 3 back row will be enough. So the biggest threat in Infernity is their Soul Charge, since we can basically only Warning can fully stop it. So at least Armageddon Knight and Infernity Archfiend get their effects upon their summon. So Torrential is not that good anymore, and it also makes our floaters miss timing. Kyle here opened quite good with double exit and access. With Lance in hand, he will for sure make one exit on first. If it goes through, he'll be in a really good spot. So here, fearing either Lance or perhaps even Book of Moon, we'll have to use all Warning already. If he has Soul Charge now, we try to stop the second one with Breakthrough Skill. Monk comes down. Discarding Lance. So this is as good as Breakthrough Skill as possible, so we'll use it here. No Soul Charge and you're good to go. Maxi is of course very good here. With Gigant we get the boy who presents the most amount of bodies, so MK2. Not much to make here really. We could make another Gigant, but that won't do any more damage than making simply Silver Mountain. So we do the SOS line instead. Because only one Gigant could attack directly. We make Gigant in main phase 2, and this time we'll probably add Accelerator from the graveyard, not from the deck, because we still need armor to add something in case we get to mid or late game. And yeah, with Arsenal we also thinned the deck for one more card, which was the only possible one being armor. Okay, so here Kyle can now either summon Armageddon Knight, set a lure, and use Stygian Street Patrol to summon Archfiend, and then do some plays that don't really lead into much. But I think he chose to activate it right away. He isn't really rewarded here, because although now he can play through some back row with Armageddon Knight, but only Armageddon Knight. Afterwards, he'll have to set Lance immediately, otherwise Archfiend won't be able to activate. So he does exactly so. And we Maxi. Yeah, Maxi puts Kyle in a rough spot here because we still have one last back row, and there really is no line that can do 6,000 points of damage through two Gigants and another body. Archfiend adds break. Ark gets rid of one Gigant. He also clears Soul of Silver Mountain. But he gave us two cards for Maxi, and he's on a top deck. Okay, so now we have two accelerators and his live Infernity break. It's not worth to commit both of them to summon last Gigant or mayhaps Arc, although that would deal 4,400 damage, but not really against this break he just added. So we summon Ice Hand rather to clear the board. Here, yeah, it was for sure best for Kyle to simply use Lance as Chainlink 1 and then break as Chainlink 2 on attack declaration, for example, which would destroy our Ice Hand without floating and Gigant as well with the break. He chose rather to clear the back row and or Gigant, which really isn't the best play, I think. I suppose that he didn't see it. Maybe he wanted to be prepared in case he top decks a Soul Charge, so we don't have as much back row. But we have three new cards since our previous turn, so it's statistically quite possible we top decked some back row. Yeah, Gigant dies here, and now we can progress our board even further. He doesn't even have any good targets for Soul Charge, so it isn't really worth to make a Rhapsody even, because we have to back row. Probably the best play here is to just deal another 1,000 points of damage with Corn, and we did just that. So there is no possible top deck here that can play through Fiendish Chain and Bottomless. Even Soul Charge. He top decks another break. We go for game. He has to use his break. We have still both our back row. Now he even can't use his Soul Charge anymore. Cowboy could win here, but that's a good example why I think Cowboy is just a win more card, because we're +6, +5, I guess. So it really doesn't do much here. Okay, we'll see what the board will be up against in game 2, or rather, if we'll be able to draw any of our hand traps. We got none. He opened poorly here and chose to only set the most life cards, that being Emptiness and MST plus Necromancer. So seeing a first turn set monster in Infernity could mean doesn't really deduce much. We don't actually deduce much. It could be Necromancer, but it also could be Heiress or any of level 4 that have no effect upon normal summon. So in any case, we should just try to make such a board that will have the ability to push as much as possible next turn. Apart from Infernity traps, Infernity tend to play Warning, so Exiton would be a bit risky here. Normal summoning Armor and summoning both accelerators is a play as well, but without the option for Gigant to float, I'd rather keep both of them for a big push next turn. He MST is one back row, and yeah, but still can't do anything with this top deck. He only sets the back row, so it looks more impenetrable. We flip the armor and we add Arsenal, which may seem weird, but getting to Giano as soon as possible is actually the correct play here. We could summon Arsenal off MK2 to make Alucard even, but it's perfectly fine to just keep MK2 if he, I don't know, nukes or board with something like Torrential Tribute, although Infernity doesn't really play it ever. Okay, so Kyle was here once again in a really rough spot because if he used the emptiness preemptively, we'll gain a lot of advantage with armor. And next turn we could still run over Necromancer by normal summoning another Geargia with 2100 attack. But because we summoned Arsenal immediately, it really looks like we're planning to go to Giano, so using it in response to Arsenal's effect would be most effective. We summoned our accelerator first, and now Arsenal is already at 2100. We could take two cards with MST here, but since you cannot, I don't know, TK, we decide for emptiness to just take care of itself. So we attack with Arsenal. Emptiness dies, and now we should be really ready for next turn. We do only 1100 damage. He isn't really threatened by our Gigants, so he probably won't break any of them. Because he must clear our back row first, rather than monsters. Yeah, another bad draw for Kyle, and that basically concludes the match. He prepares the board, the game state for his last turn, if it will even come to that. Okay, so he doesn't destroy our armor before we flip him, and with now 3 accelerators in hand, we really can do a lot. We still play conservatively here because we're playing around in fear of Torrential Tribute, although as I said, Infernity doesn't really play it. He decides to pop our Gigant, which doesn't really do anything because he'll only float in another level 4. He should, before pop the accelerator, and make it miss its timing, and survive because we couldn't then normal summon once more. We still cannot kill here, So we make probably the Gusto Emerald as our last rank 4. Nothing much to do. We decide to make Emerald rather than Corn to put him on 1300 to get some back row. But in any case, even if he top decks Soul Charge, we have Needle Ceiling that'll clear anything. We attack to put him as low. He actually top decks Soul Charge, but it doesn't really matter because both Gigants will float. We use Ceiling and that's game. Okay, so a rather straightforward game match, 2-0. I don't think we made any mistakes in this match. Maybe playing around Torrential, even against Infernity, is what will get us more wins in the long run. The opponent played well, but if Infernity would get to do their combo every time, it would be tier 1 or even tier 0. So we were lucky to open a way to get our engine both games plus some back row, and that's usually enough to handle Infernity if they don't go first and we don't open any hand traps. Maybe one more thing, apart from just mentioned scenario, it's not really that hard to grind through all 4 Infernity traps and win after they're out of them. So yeah, don't be afraid of Infernity because in the long run, you should win most of the matches with a decent enough deck. So that's it for now. This time a shorter video and one where I didn't misplay for might be an exception. So yeah, okay. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.